After my big three-parter of the Tenchi Muyo series, I thought I'd switch it up for a change, and talk about something a little bit more local. And ever since Archer's little incident, I think we need a bit of a distraction. Lately she's been staying at my house until the heat dies down, and she's not really taking it too well.
Hey Frank, think quick!
This go around, I decided to go back to when I was a kid growing up watching the ABC. That's the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, not the American one. And don't worry, this isn't gonna be one of those, hey 90s kids, remember Cat Dog? Fuck yeah, you remember Cat Dog? Yeah, Cat Dog cunt! Woo! Look, I'm just here to explain my own experiences, and if you jam with it, that's cool. And yes, I do see the irony. I just want to share some Australian TV shows. Now to set up some ground rules. Some of these shows aren't going to be 100% Australian. The ABC also shows a bunch of BBC and Canadian shows as well. It all comes down to the broadcasting rights. Like ABC has Nickelodeon, BBC, and depending on the show, some Disney and MTV shows. Well, you have other channels like Channel 7, who is full on Disney and Power Rangers. Channel 9 would have Warner Brothers, and Channel 10 had Fox and some anime. And by anime, I mean Pokemon and
Card Captors.
And not, you know, double barrels and double barrels. That's SBS's territory. So if I mention a show that's not 100% Australian, don't come at me with that, actually, that's a Canadian show. You're fake. You're a Canadian show. I just want to say I love you, Canada. You gave me cheese curds on fries and Bryan Danielson. So today I'm just gonna go through some shows that I remember and other linking ventures. So let's just get into it. And where else to start than outside of a tool shed?
Say your prayers, red creatures! Right, cat guts. Take that. You're dead, train lover.
That was the first few seconds of a show called The Ferals, about 4 feral animals squatting in a tool shed, and the 3 college students that let them live there. Not that they have a choice. This show follows these 4 animals as they go through get-rich-quick schemes and just be horrible to each other. We have Radis and Modigliana. They're usually the top scammers, and they're always at each other's throat. Some of these fights can get really savage. Like how Radis convinced Modigliana that she has a crack in her brain, so she travels into his dreams and psychologically tortures him in his sleep. And yes, that's Radis dressed up as Mary Poppins, catch up, and they drop hell in this episode too.
This isn't cat heaven. This is rat hell.
Then you have Darren the dog and Mixie the rabbit. Darren's as smart as a bag of rocks, and Mixie's the innocent one. She's also named after a disease found in rabbits. But don't look it up, it's pretty gross. That's probably the reason why her eyes are bulging like that. And here comes the part of the video where you say, man, no amount of torture will make me say all that stuff. Growing up, I was that kid who was afraid of puppets. But could you blame me? Look at these things, they're fucking gross. Especially Radis when he breaks the 4th wall, talking at you like a meth head at a train station. Oh, do you have $1? You know, researching this show is pretty fun. Like, I only remembered the spin-off series called Feral TV, where they hijack a pirate TV station and they just do parodies of TV shows and movies, and how Modigliana co-hosts a animal fact show for kids called Creature Features. Like how Radis would guest star on other shows, like this teen quiz show called Vidiot, which I suggest you go look up because it's the most awkward 30 minutes of your life. Or how Radis and Modigliana shows up in like educational TV shows for kids. Again, I don't know why he looks like a meth head
This is the Kim and Kanye of Coney Island.
Hey, Kim ain't got shit on me.
Back to creature features. I've mentioned that Modigliano co-hosts this show. Let me introduce you to the other co-host, a fella that goes by the name Nick Hardcastle. What kind of badass name is that? And all he's doing is teaching you about animals. That's like watching Blue's Clues, and the presenter's name is Clint B. Clutch. And all he's doing is teaching you kids about shapes and colors. And Mixie was the host of a cartoon block for kindergarteners, because that's what you need for your kids. A rabbit named after an eye disease. Now I joke, but The Ferals is one of my favorite shows from back when I was a kid. And I loved showing it to American friends, just to see their reactions. And like a lot of these shows that I'm going to present to you, they're all on YouTube, free and for everyone else to see. So if you can, I strongly suggest that you go look it up. Before we continue, I would like to ask you a question. Have you ever
Have you ever felt like this? Have strange things happen? Are you going round a twist?
Our next entry is Round a Twist, a show about a family of 4 moving into a lighthouse, and the 3 kids going on wild and wacky adventures. Adventures that include finding a TV remote that can control time before the movie click, finding a Birdman, finding a literal Cabbage Patch Kid, befriending a human gelato machine, accidentally swallowing a fish that makes you good at swimming. Don't ask me how, it just does. Trust me. Making out with a tree spirit, which turned into a male impreg story, and being bombarded by ghost seagulls. Round a Twist is based off the writings of an author named Paul Jennings, and he specialized in that special feeling when you were a kid and you saw some gross stuff and you just went, I remember my teacher reading one of the books in class. Something about someone having a big manure patch and fighting off a swarm of flies or something, I don't know. And the show is a pretty decent adaptation of it. There's also this subplot about Vikings and an ancient love book, but I don't know, I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy thinking about the dark implications of the Cabbage Patch Kids episode. See, Bronson, the youngest kid, he found a baby in the Cabbage Patch, and he accidentally bonded with the baby. It was all fun and games until he put down the baby for a second and it stopped breathing. And the only way that it starts breathing again is if Bronson picked up the baby. And you see this baby holding its breath and its skin's turning purple and look, I shouldn't say anymore or else I'll be spoiling it, but go watch Round a Twist. Speaking of babies, Little Elvis and the Truck Stoppers. Okay, so check this out. One night someone drove up in a Cadillac and dropped off a baby at a truck stop. So the owners of the truck stop surmised that this guy in the Cadillac was actually Elvis.
Lord have mercy.
So instead of contacting the authorities about this abandoned baby, this married couple decided to raise this kid as Elvis Jr. They basically modeled his whole life around being Elvis. When I grow up, I want to be a firefighter. No! You put on your jumpsuit and sing about your blue suede shoes. The whole show's aesthetic is basically Happy Days if it was set in rural Australia. It's actually pretty charming. It sends me back to when I go to my nana's house. I even remember seeing my aunt having one of those framed pictures of Elvis. It's a very boomer-esque kind of feel, like if the writers weren't really over the fact that Elvis is dead. Still believes that he's hanging around McDonald's somewhere, eating his deep-fried peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Oh man, what if the parents actually fed him on OG Elvis's diet? Hurry up and eat your deep-fried peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you're gonna be late for school. Mom, my arm's starting to feel funny. Just throw some karate chops, you'll be fine. Now get in the car. He has a couple of friends who are also his bandmates. You have Lionel, an Aboriginal kid who plays didgeridoo, and Janet. She was brought into the Joneses' house because her mum's a trucker and she's always out on business, which builds up a resentment to truckers, which is kind of understandable. There was even one episode where her mum comes back, and all she does is give her a toy truck. and then leaves. Although that toy truck's pretty cool.
Keep on truckin'. Keep on truckin'.
Hell, Lionel is pretty cool too. They got an Aboriginal actor and musician, Tom E. Lewis, to provide Lionel's didgeridoo playing. But not only that, on the animation side, instead of outsourcing the animation, they taught people how to animate from scratch. This is a fun concept and I really recommend you go check it out. Ace Lightning is a fish out of water story about a boy playing a video game and a video game coming to life. This ran between 2002 and 2004, starring Thomas Wansley as Mark. I mentioned this guy's name because growing up I thought this was Frankie Muniz, but no, this is the non-union British equivalent. And like I said before, this one was brought to you by the BBC and not an ABC original. This show is pretty fun, even with the terrible early 2000s CGI, making them look like plastic, which in a way makes sense because they're, video game characters. Actually, have you ever
felt like this?
Have you ever seen a TV show or a movie where someone's playing a video game? They're playing Sega, and they're using a Nintendo controller, and you hear Atari Frogger sound effects. Then the mom comes in like, turn off that Super Mario Brothers and do your homework. If only I can get a plumber to fix the pipes, but all I have is your dad. Well, Ace Lightning isn't shy from that either. In the pilot episode, Mark is playing a video game called Ace Lightning, based off of his favorite comic book character. So you see him go through the video game and it comes to a cutscene where Ace gets sneak attacked by an old mate called Lord Fear. Lord Fear runs away and Ace is like, you won't get away from me that easily, sounding like a knockoff Buzz Lightyear. Then the game goes into a loading screen and Mark says this.
Access. Activate. Stand by.
Level 7.
Access. Activate. Stand
Never had a level 7.
I might be a small town boy pretending to be a Binturong, also pretending to be a Texas lawyer. But this game looks like a narrative-driven game. So what does he mean by level 7? I haven't heard of level 7. What does he mean by that? Obviously the story continues after that, and he never heard of level 7. Either he just got the game, or this is like his third playthrough and he sucks. Even if he just got the game. No shit you haven't heard of level 7. You just started playing the bitch. But that's just me being a pedantic nerd. Shout out to Seth Rogen playing Mortal Kombat Deception on a Mad Cat N64 controller connected to his chair. I like the designs of the villains. There's some video game characters. And you have the regular middle school problems, like Mark being the awkward new kid, with the added bonus of him being British, moving to America. He also gets a loser best friend, played by I can't believe it's not Josh Peck. He also has this will they, won't they relationship with this girl, who has a boyfriend, so usual middle school dramas. On top of that, he has to take care of a video game character who doesn't know what a toilet is. The weird thing about this show is, they try to depict Mark as a weird, awkward kid, but he seems like an affable kid, and the other students seem to like him. The only fault in his actions is he befriended a fat kid who just gets picked on, but that's just more of a guilty by association thing. But the fat kid's pretty cool. He just tries really hard to get people to like him. God, that just reminds me of my school years. Actually, I like this guy. He's played by Mark Minardi. Which, oh crap, he was in Degrassi Next Generation, playing Lucas Valeri. So let that be a lesson to you. Don't make fun of the fat kid. They might turn into Lucas Valeri. Where was I? They have to find a magical MacGuffin and send them back where they came from. You get the gist. It's actually a pretty good show. Okay, one more show. My Best Friend is an Alien. Also known as, I was a 6th grade alien. This one's kind of self-explanatory. The intro that I'm not going to play because of copyright asks the viewer, ever wish for a friend that's from outer space? Okay, first of all, I do have a friend that's from outer space, and she has the best fading 3 in the universe. Let him know, Archer!
What you gonna do when I come through?
Yeah, that's the way. This whole show is pretty cool. The aesthetic is like those sci-fi movies from the 50s. All the establishing shots are like those little model sets. The title cards are all stylized, like movie posters. And instead of giving the main characters names, some of them are billed as Daniel Clark as the friend, Panu as the bodyguard, and Ryan Cooley as Pleskett. No, not that one. These are actually pretty fun. Look at him. Jennifer Wigmore as the teacher. There's a character named Mr. Buttsman. Wait, Michael Cera? Oh wow, there he is! Baby Michael Cera! This is from an episode called They Shoot, They Splort, whatever the hell that means. Where a friend and Pleskett were watching school basketball. Pleskett was getting really into it, but then they lost, and Pleskett got all up in his feelings and stuff, got real sad and shit. So he starts floating, because whenever he feels upset, he starts to float. And the coach with this mad eye patch is all like, "You guys suck, we need someone that could at least jump." Then he sees Pleskett getting all high up in the clouds because he's depressed, and he thinks to himself, "Ah, that'll do. Archer knows all about hang time, don't you, Archer?" Come on, dude. So Pleskett tries out, and he fails because obviously the alien from another planet doesn't know about basketball, and his floating gimmick is just because he's sad. Also, when he gets nervous, he kind of lets go of some noxious fumes out of his body, which, to be honest, so do I. I guess we're not so different after all. So the bodyguard's getting all twisted up because old Lefty here is giving him a hard time. So they do that whole storyline where it's like, if my team of championship-winning basketball players could beat your ragtag team of misfits, then you would have to run around the court in your underwear. You know, like Little Giants or something. So Pleskett and the friend go off recruiting. Oh, hey, Michael Cera, what's up? Again, if you need a ringer, you could always call my girl Archer.
I like to cry at the ocean because only there do my tears seem small.
Yeah, I'm trying to G you up, man. Come on. Whatever, you know how it works. They get swamped first half, then they start coming back with some goofy shit, and the friend scores a final goal, winning by 1 point. You get the jam. I also liked how they named episodes. They all sound like really bad B movies, like Pre-Teen Party from Outer Space, Escape from the Planet Earth, or Help! I pulverized my mother. And the music sounds like the old school sci-fi theremin. The ooh, but mixed with surf rock. Like if the Beach Boys decide to sing a song about Dracula. This show is some silly fun. And again, you should go check it out. Most of the episodes are on YouTube. I actually like this generation of YouTube. If you want to look up some old TV shows, they're all there. And most of them are official. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to show off a couple of TV shows I used to watch. But while researching, I kept finding shows and got reminded of old shows that I haven't watched in a while. Hell, I didn't even mention the claymation show about the caveman family, or Blinky Bill, the show about a koala and his friends, and that suspiciously attractive dingo lady. Like, sure, she's hot, but just wait until she opens her mouth. Pause.
Poor thing. A handsome lizard like you should be treated better. Take off that silly costume. Oh, what big false teeth you have. The game's over, Blinky. Danny, the fangs don't come out. Mayor's having a race, but they're planning to raise a lot of money. You're disqualified, Mr. Mayor. You're supposed to run over the bridge, not under it. And nobody likes a sportsman who takes a dive. Ma, we can't open the lid.
Ah, God, it's just like nails on a chalkboard.
Just give me the rope. Oh, I love skipping. Perhaps you and I could skip together. Isn't this fun? Practice makes perfect, Splodjo.
What's up, baby? Take me out to dinner. Hey, yo!
Besides the fact that Daisy sounds like she swallowed a murder of crows, you also have this skeevy dude, Danny Dingo. Mate, I don't think that's optimal hand placement for your sister's back. And put some damn pants on.
Because anything more than sunglasses is overdressed.
Or that music program, where it has that guy with a long face just screaming at you. Rage, 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 rage! Then it zooms in on his creepy flat face and it's stretching out and it's fucking... Ugh. Sorry about that. I lost myself for a second. Look, all I'm saying is, go check out all these shows if you can. Because you'll have as much fun watching these shows as I did making this video. And please leave a comment if you want to see more of this. And always like and subscribe. Sounds corny, but you know, worth a try. And speaking about losing yourself, I think I need to talk to someone. I'll catch you guys later. Okay, Archer, look here. I know there's been a lot of doubt going around, fogging up your brain. People telling you that you ain't shit because you're not a golden retriever that could play ball. That you're just another one of those garden variety anime cat girls that could throw a ball. And they're saying that all your accomplishments were photoshopped. What kind of bullshit is that? So what you gonna do about it? Wallow in your sadness? Surrounded by your Fabergé eggs? Come here, look at this mirror. Tell me what you see. Well, I don't speak Japanese, but what I do speak is the truth. And the truth is, what I see is a bad bitch who drains threes on the daily, who could shatter backboards and shatter ankles. What I see is a sweet little lying girl who is way better than some mangy-ass dog. What I see is a little lying girl that has that dog in her, who gave the Harlem Globetrotters a run for their money. Those whiny bitches don't know a three-pointer from a 3-inch pointer finger in the asshole. The Shack Attack ain't shit. All I care about is the Archer Onslaught. Now what are you gonna do? Where's your head? Tell me where's your head at? Tell me!
You know, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Small Joe, and you can see that statement is not true.